Right now at 6, the search for a missing 87-year-old man near Carthage comes to an end.
And it's going to be nice and sunny for today. Before a cool down comes this weekend, I'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, some Southeast Kansas students step back in time to the 1850s.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KWM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Friday. Happy Friday in fall. I love the alliteration of like fall Fridays, but you can only do it for so long.
Yes, of course. I mean, it really isn't feeling like fall. It does not feel like November right now.
I'm appreciating the 70-degree weathers though, and I know, in your full forecast today, you do bring some bad news of there's going to be there's going to be a freeze, there's going to be some 20s we might see, so appreciate it now while we have it.
Most definitely, but we are seeing a pretty nice end to our work week for today, for Friday. We take a look at downtown Pittsburgh at this moment. It is a pretty nice start to your morning. You can actually see the sunrise just starting to peak up a little bit. Temperatures are looking pretty good right now. It's going to be a pretty nice sunny day. 7th range line, not too bad. Still some lingering clouds, but those will dissipate by late morning into the early parts of the afternoon. Range line I-44, not too bad as well. People are starting to get out doing their morning routine. But right now there is a bit of fog that is actually moving its way to the southeast. Iola, just a little over a mile of visibility, and Pittsburgh under 2 miles. And Miami is right now just 0.3 of a mile of visibility. So if you guys are driving along I-44 to either the northeast or the southwest, make sure you're paying attention to this fog because it is definitely increased over the last hour or so, and it could increase or decrease. Fog is definitely pretty crazy when it's this type of morning, especially with these temperatures right now. 55 degrees in Joplin, Anderson about 60 degrees. Yates Center, you guys are on the cooler side, about 46 degrees. And that's pretty much, like I said, where the fog is at this moment, but not too bad for temperature-wise. Our future track for today at noon, northwesterly winds, a pretty nice sunny day, so that fog should start dissipating through the morning into the early parts of our morning here. And then by about 4 o'clock, there will be some clouds that will start to build in by 6 o'clock as well. But it's going to be an overall pretty nice day. For your school day, out the door, 55 degrees, decreasing clouds by lunchtime at 69 and 70 degrees as you're heading home. So a pretty nice day when you're getting outside. And like I was saying, 70 degrees is going to be our high, all sunny skies through the day. But I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Donald. Authorities in Jasper County, Missouri believe they found the body of a man who had been missing for more than 2 weeks. Missing person notices had been posted, saying 87-year-old Hugh Berry was last seen leaving his home west of Carthage on October 20th. Now the Jasper County Sheriff's Department reports the discovery Thursday of a body believed to be Berry's remains. Their search was aided by the 3R K9 Research Foundation and Christian Aid Ministries Search and Rescue. Investigators say they do not suspect foul play. While a positive ID is still pending, authorities say they are confident it's the body of Hugh Berry. A change in tax policy means some Jasper County entities will have to rethink their budgets. Some political subdivisions across Jasper County could see less than anticipated in revenues from property taxes. With over 6,300 Jasper County residents receiving the senior tax credit this year, school districts, fire departments, and city governments will now get less money than they thought. School districts are seeing the largest financial impact, with some districts receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars less than they anticipated.
Property values are up, and the Carthage schools passed an operating levy increases last spring, but the seniors that got the credit are tied back to 24, not this year. So that operating increase times the new assessed value makes that difference much larger.
Jasper County Collector Steve McIntosh says despite credits being applied, residents overall are paying more in taxes this year due to it being a reassessment year and property values rising. High schoolers from throughout the 4 states got to put their knowledge of business to the test at MSSU's 4th annual Business Gateway competition. KWM's Kenny Foreman tells us more about what the experience was like.
For high schoolers with a passion for business, the day was a culmination of hard work and preparation.
They've had about 3 weeks is when we gave them the presentation prompts, and so they've had 3 weeks to kind of work through the material, go through case studies. A lot of the case studies we use are similar to what we use here at Southern, and so they are really immersed in kind of what a business education looks like as well.
A record 685 students across 27 schools were in attendance, showcasing their knowledge in a variety of different categories in hopes of walking away with awards.
So we have in the morning multiple choice test that they take over various subjects such as international business, communication, accounting, marketing, management, and then they also have the opportunity to give presentations over similar subjects like financial plan, the business plan pitch competition, travel, tourism.
The students and staff also used the event as an opportunity to introduce the high schoolers to MSSU and showcase why it might be a good fit for them as they start to think about college.
We're trying to get kids interested in Southern, and we're trying to get their teachers where they want to send kids to Southern, so it's just making sure those kind of stakeholders in that situation are taken care of, and they feel welcome here and they feel support, and they end up loving it and wanting to come back for more.
Having been in their shoes at one point, it means a lot to the college students to get the younger generation excited for their future.
This is just a small competition that they think is very big right now. As high schoolers, you just want to be getting out of school, but this is something that can help them long term.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The faculty plans to send the grading rubrics back to the high school teachers, who will then share them with the students. This is done in an effort to help the students grow beyond the competition. While hammering hot metal, riding in covered wagons, and learning about Native American culture, area students experience pioneer life firsthand at Cato Days. The small historic Crawford County town, founded in 1854, transformed into a living classroom where students explored Southeast Kansas pioneer heritage and discovered what life was like more than 150 years ago. Cato Days featured 7 interactive stations, from blacksmith demonstrations to cowboy culture. Students also visited the site of Crawford County's first school.
One of the main goals is that Cato was a very important part in the settlement of Southeast Kansas. It was a hub. People came here and had their grain ground, and actually it was a stopover for the stagecoach between Fort Scott and Baxter Springs.
The educational adventure continues Saturday. Protesters outside the Payne County Courthouse in Oklahoma with signs in hand. They're upset a teenager convicted on several rape-related charges now will not face jail time. Paige Taylor reports on the charges against the teen and the now lighter punishment.
This body cam footage shows then 17-year-old Jesse Butler being arrested at his home in Stillwater earlier this year. He was convicted of 11 charges in total, 10 charges related to rape, including domestic assault and battery by strangulation and rape by instrumentation, and 1 charge for violating a protection order. Records show the charges stem from incidents with 2 different victims. He pleaded no contest, and what was originally a 78-year sentence was changed after he was given youthful offender status. Now we're learning he will have to do community service and attend counseling and faces no jail time.
The justice system here in Stillwater has allowed a violent sex offender to walk free. Not only is he currently free and loose on the streets, he's a virtual student at Stillwater Public Schools as a senior, and after he finishes having this slap on the wrist, he doesn't even have to register as a sex offender.
During a protest on Wednesday, people lined the streets, including students.
It really means a lot to show that there's a lot of people out here that really care and truly want to make this world better and get people like him off the streets.
Justice top of mind for students in attendance.
I want him to get what he deserves. He needs to be prosecuted. Worthington needs out of office.
It makes me hopeful that in those situations we might get more justice for people.
Butler is scheduled to be back in court on December 8th. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Coming up, the government shutdown hits air travel as security lines stretch for hours and flight cuts begin. Plus, the King of Pop gets the biopic treatment with his nephew playing the lead role. Jafar Jackson portrays Michael Jackson in the new film heading to IMAX. And warm and sunny skies in the 4 states. Donald has a look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, it's day 37 of the government shutdown, and pressure is on lawmakers to find a deal to end this historic impasse is ratcheting up. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
Frustrations are mounting at airports across the country as lines at security checkpoints stretch for hours.
It's very inconvenient for me, but I mean, if you're not paying people right, I completely understand. If I'm not getting paid right for my services, I wouldn't work either.
The Trump administration announced it's ordering a 10% reduction in flights starting Friday at some of the nation's busiest airports due to a shortage of air traffic controllers.
Controllers are resigning every day now because of the prolonged nature of the shutdown. We hadn't seen that before.
Some lawmakers have questioned whether the flight cuts could pressure Congress to quickly reopen the government.
I think there is real urgency to our resolving this in advance of the Thanksgiving travel season.
President Trump has repeatedly pushed Senate Republicans to invoke a so-called nuclear option to end the standoff by getting rid of the filibuster and then reopening the government without Democratic support.
If you're going to tell me I have to choose between helping people eat or defending the rules of the Senate, I'm going to choose people eating.
But the votes to eliminate it aren't there.
I feel very strongly about this, and I also feel very strongly that we've got enough courageous Republicans to not take the heat of the moment and respect this institution and defend this country.
For now, Democrats continue to push for an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies.
There is no reason to surrender now, every reason to stand firm.
Some talks are underway, but many senators say a deal to end the shutdown is unlikely to happen this week. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
There are some negotiations taking place among rank-and-file senators to fund an appropriations bill for the next year, but those talks aren't close to a deal yet. Well, coming up, we have warm and sunny skies in the 4 states. Donald has a look at your Friday forecast. Her musical hiatus is so yesterday. Hilary Duff returns to the recording studio as Robert De Niro picks up an international accolade. Gwen Baumgarten has your Eye on Entertainment report.
From the moonwalk to the movie theater, a Michael Jackson biopic titled Michael was just announced.
Can you lower the lights for me, please?
The cast is led by actor Jafar Jackson, making his film debut portraying his late uncle, the King of Pop. The film follows his journey from Jackson 5 to headlining solo stadium tours. Michael heads to IMAX in April.
I feel like it's the right first move.
I think so.
You do?
She's back. Hilary Duff announcing an end to her decade-long hiatus from music. Her new single, titled Mature, is out now. It was a round of applause for Robert De Niro as the actor accepted one of Rome's top honors. The actor was given what's called the She-Wolf Award. It's an accolade presented by Rome's mayor to people who have brought prestige to the city. The Rockettes are kicking off their annual Christmas spectacular shows. This season promises faster kicks and heightened choreography.
We keep pushing the bar and keep making them work harder and try new things.
This year marks 100 years of the iconic New York City dance troupe. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
It's incredible to see how the Rockettes have become such a staple of the holiday season. Well, now here's Donald with a quick look at your forecast.
It's going to be a beautiful end to our work week, a nice, warm, sunny Friday. However, a cool down is coming this weekend. I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up after the break. It's going to be a beautiful day out there for today. You can see in downtown Pittsburgh, the sun is starting to come up. There is some lingering clouds, but those are going to start dissipating as we progress through the morning. 7th range line, the colors are starting to show up for that morning sunrise. People are starting to get out the door, start their morning routines, getting their coffee. Kids are getting ready to go on the school bus. Not too bad right now for our driving conditions on range line I-44, but however, there is a pretty good significant patch of fog right by Miami. There's 0.3 of a mile, and Veneta just under 5 miles of visibility. Joplin, just a little under 7 miles of visibility. So that's basically our area. If you're driving along I-44 near Miami, visibility is going to be very limited, so make sure you're driving safe and careful, and that's pretty much going to continue up till you get to about Joplin and Carthage. But around the Miami area, not too bad driving condition-wise. That fog is going to start dissipating as we progress into our morning. Let's take a look at our regional temperatures and why we're in this warmer spell at this moment. Right now, we are getting kind of like a mix of some southwesterly winds blending with some northwesterly winds. The northwesterly winds are going to be the most dominant for today, but it's still going to be pretty nice before that cold really starts to come in this weekend. Taking a look at our future track today at noon, there's those northwesterly winds. Like I said, there is still some warmer air coming up from the south, but not too much. But we're still going to have a pretty nice day. It's going to be clear and sunny all through the day until we get to about 6 p.m. through the evening time. Clouds are going to start increasing, and it's still going to be relatively nice on the cooler side, but not too bad. Then we get to about 5 a.m. Saturday. You can see the winds have shifted from the northwest back to the southeast. So Saturday looks pretty good, still a little bit on the cloudier side by the time we get to noon on Saturday. The winds you can see have shifted, now coming back from the northwest, and it's actually going to be a little bit windier tomorrow as well because of that front that's going to be pushing in. There's definitely going to be a pressure change, and by the time we get to Saturday around 6 p.m., dominating northwesterly winds, and that's going to start bringing in that colder air. But for today, Friday, 8 a.m., starting off at 56 degrees, pretty sunny skies through the morning, getting up to 68 degrees at 11 a.m., so a pretty nice start to your day. And then by about noon, 69 degrees, warming up to our high about 70. Sunny skies, just a little bit of clouds, but it's going to be mostly sunny through the day. Like I said, 70 degrees for a high, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. So a pretty nice Friday. And our evening's not going to be too bad either. 6 p.m., 62 degrees, increasing clouds through the evening into the overnight, dropping down to 52 at 10 p.m. And our overnight low is going to be 46 degrees. So not a bad day and not a bad evening. However, the cold is coming. This is our frost and freeze forecast. You can see 35 degrees on Saturday, frost possible, and then 21 degrees on Sunday. That is going to be the coldest part of this week. You're definitely going to have freeze and frost, so make sure you have your coats ready and your scrapers for your windshield, because it is going to be pretty chilly as you're waking up on Sunday morning, and also for Monday as well. It's going to be pretty cold. And then we're going to warm up just a tad bit by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday. But the cold is starting to set in. But taking a look at our 10-day forecast, 70 for today, 68 on Saturday. It really cools down, as you can see. Sunday, we're only going to see 41 degrees for a high. There's those lows, 21, 29 degrees, hard freeze. It's still going to be pretty cold on Monday at 45. And then we're going to gradually start warming up as we progress through the week. Wednesday, 69. And then possibly seeing 70s again by the latter part of next week. But that's a look at your full forecast. Here is Sam with Health Watch.
Thanks, Donald. A warning for people with asthma. A thunderstorm can trigger severe symptoms and in some cases even necessitate a trip to the emergency room. A study presented at a meeting of the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology found 14% of all asthma-related ER visits happen during thunderstorms. Allergists say asthma patients should prepare for thunderstorms the same way you prepare for high pollen days or cold weather. Children with eczema may get an added benefit from the COVID vaccine. Texas researchers found that COVID-vaccinated kids experience significantly fewer eczema infections and allergic complications than kids who aren't vaccinated. Risks of other allergy-related conditions were also lower in vaccinated children, including asthma and hay fever. People who've had concussions are at a 50% higher risk of having a traffic crash even weeks later. Researchers from the Institute for Clinical Evaluative Sciences say the risk is especially high during the first months after a concussion. Concussions can affect brain function in many ways, including dizziness, brain fog, and slower reaction times. A new surgical intervention has allowed a toddler to temporarily survive without a heart. The child's heart was failing fast and traditional treatments weren't working. That's when the desperate family turned to CHOP, where the team created a first-of-its-kind intervention. Stephanie Stahl has his remarkable story.
Hi, how are you? He's the baby who lived 9 months without a heart.
Can you believe it?
Dr. Katsuhiro Maeda says the dramatic intervention was the only way to save Michael Webb's life.
We take out his entire heart.
The baby was born in Virginia with very complex heart disease.
Very scary, because I didn't know what to expect.
Everything had failed when the Webb family ended up at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
CHOP's willing to do what they have to do to save lives, and that's why we're here.
Michael needed a heart transplant to survive, but he couldn't be stabilized with traditional surgical options, so the team devised an innovative way to replace his failing heart with a combination of mechanical devices.
I knew that this was really high risk, and also, be honest, I was not sure this really works, but I believe that this works, so that is why we tried.
Something you've never done before.
That is correct, yes.
And they explained the odds, and it was 50-50. We jumped on it because 50% chance was better than the zero we had.
We were terrified, but also hopeful that it would work and he would get to transplant.
In December, a donor heart was found.
It was a Christmas miracle.
The heart transplant surgery was a success, worthy of a send-off party as the family left the hospital.
Tell him I appreciate you saving my son's life. This is amazing.
Now the 2-year-old comes back for checkups.
He's doing good. He wants to get down and play.
It's remarkable. I'm so glad that this worked.
It was a risky experiment that doctors say now offers new hope for others. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
The family says they're so grateful for the care they received and that 5 other hospitals said they couldn't help their son. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Quapaw Nation Museum honors World War II veterans with a special quilt display.
We're going to have a nice, sunny, warm day today, but a cool down is coming this weekend. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, good food raises money for a good cause at the Joplin Service Club.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Donald O'Keefe. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Friday. It feels like a Friday. I'm excited for it.
It really does feel like a Friday, honestly. This week kind of goes by so quick, and everybody's looking forward to the weekend and everything. The weather actually has made it a very enjoyable work week.
Yes, and they always say time goes fast when you're having fun, and we're always having fun here on the KOAM Morning Show.
Most definitely. And actually, like I said, today is going to be a nice end to our work week. Let's take a look at downtown Pittsburgh at this moment. The sun is starting to come up. It's looking pretty good out there. Temperatures are feeling pretty good. Everybody's going to enjoy this nice, sunny, warm day that we're going to have. Right now, 7th and Range line, like I said, not too bad. Nice, clear skies. There is a little bit of clouds lingering around, but they're going to start dissipating pretty soon. Range line I-44, not too bad out there. People are starting to get out to get their morning routines going to get their coffee. Kids are getting on the bus to go to school. But right now, there is a bit of fog that is down by Miami, just 0.3 of a mile at this moment. So if you are driving through Miami along I-44, any of those other roads, be careful because it is definitely very foggy at this very moment. Veneta, about just under 5 miles of visibility. So Joplin, just under 7. So if you guys are driving along I-44, just be careful because it is foggy right now. But temperatures are not feeling too bad at this moment. 56 in Joplin, 59 down in Anderson, Independence 51 in Sedan, 50 and Yates Center about 45. So on the cooler side, more to the northwest, but not too bad as you're getting out the door. Our future track today at noon, we do have northwesterly winds, but it's still going to be pretty nice and clear as we progress through the day. By about 4 o'clock, still nice clear skies, northwesterly winds, and still pretty nice. But by the time we get to the afternoon and evening, there is going to be some clouds that are going to start building in. Those clouds will increase through the rest of the overnight. Okay, so for your school day, 55 as you're out the door, 69 lunch and recess, sunny skies, 70 as you're heading home, so not too bad. Sunny skies pretty much most of the day, 70 is going to be our high, but I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up.
Donald, thanks. A federal judge orders the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits for November. The administration had planned to cover only 65% of benefits amid the government shutdown. Legal challenges from cities and nonprofits argue partial funding causes harm to vulnerable families. Officials warn continued shutdown threatens future benefits. The Quapaw Nation approved $500 payments to tribal households receiving SNAP benefits. The committee says many families face food insecurity due to the federal government shutdown. Eligible households must show proof of SNAP benefits before the shutdown. The tribe calls on federal officials to end the shutdown and restore benefits to those in need. Officials will have more information on how to apply for this help soon. It was a full house at the Joplin Surface Club's annual chili and veggie soup fundraiser. The event supports programs for the blind and visually impaired, including the Low Vision Enhancement Center and weekly member lunches. Guests enjoyed homemade chili, vegetable soup, and a silent auction featuring holiday decor, kitchen sets, and gift baskets, all donated by community members and volunteers.
Well, hopefully they're going to expect someone being very kind, greeting them, and taking their order and then bringing it to the table for them and offer assistance throughout the day. I've got a lot of good volunteers.
The money raised also helps cover transportation costs and supplies, making sure those in need have access to essential tools and resources. Well, changing desperation to transformation, that's at the heart of a Joplin program. This week's Doing Good report takes us to Joplin, where a program hosted by Watered Gardens is working to help men who are at the end of their rope. KOAM's Ty Parks has the story.
All right, I was at the end of my rope. I was actually in a psych ward and had no other means of either going back and burning all the bridges that I had as far as family is concerned.
On 15th Street in Joplin sits a small old church with a big mission, a mission for change. The Forge program welcomes men who are at their lowest and are willing to grow.
When a guy applies to come into the Forge, that really is the first step of changing them, if you will. Of course, I'm not changing anybody. Only God can change somebody. And that he will only change them to the extent that they will allow themselves to be changed.
They start in a dorm setting and volunteer around Water Gardens while taking classes on being a better person.
Christian discipleship, but also what does it mean to be a member of the community? What does it mean to have a strong work ethic? What does it mean to operate with integrity and honesty? And so we just cultivate that during that education phase.
The next phase is small apartment living. It's a little bit more freedom while still being guided.
That's where they begin to have an actual job somewhere in the community. We assign them a Christian business mentor. So here's a man who's willing to meet with them every week and just talk through how are things going at work? How are things going at the campus where you're staying there at Forge? What's going on in your life?
The end goal, being commissioned to go out and be a better man, helping to impact society in a positive way.
I see everything that I'm doing as like ministry. It's an opportunity, whether it's at work, in relationship with the people in my community at God's Resort, whether I'm just interacting with people at church or even at the grocery store. Like, I see those opportunities as, I see those situations as opportunities to see what God is doing, and in the same way, like how he's blessed me, I want to give a measure of that back.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The men stay at the place until they're ready to move out in the world without all government assistance. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, Shannon Becker joins us in the studio breaking down his big 3 stories of the week. Plus, a $20 million pink diamond called the Glowing Rose headlines a luxury auction next week. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon. Thanks for coming.
Well, no problem. Watch out for that fog this morning.
Yes.
I know he's been warning you about it. Boy, it is thick out there. Let's take a look at our big 3 stories this week. Speaking of our number 3 story, a lot of fog and deer. I've already heard 3 deer collisions this morning. This happened exactly this last Saturday night late. It was a traffic crash that involved 3 vehicles and a deer on I-44. It really slowed things down. MoDOT emergency response, highway patrol, everyone was out there, it seems like. So now, when you're out, you see a deer that's coming at you or something, you're just supposed to hold the line. So like this happened about a week ago. Vehicle on I-44 near exactly where that first crash was, and the deer went partially through the windshield. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of far away, but I mean, imagine, very, very scary. Driver was not injured, but hold the line. Don't swerve. Mostly you would probably flip over if you did. Our number 2 story, Joplin News First, KOAM News Now, a very serious crash. This is near Asbury on Missouri 43. A DWI driver, Missouri State Highway Patrol say, did a U-turn in the middle of the highway. I'm not laughing, I'm laughing because it's insane. I can't believe it. But I guess when people are under the influence of something, they do make some poor decisions perhaps.
Yes.
Luckily, he only had a small scratch after being T-boned.
Which is almost miraculous
No,
in this situation.
at highway
if you look at
speeds.
the photos.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It was so bizarre. More details on the website for that. A man was from Florida who was in that crash. The driver of the semi not injured. He was from McDonald County. And then our number 1 story. This was Halloween night. Very, very scary. A group of Halloween trick-or-treaters in the Eastmoreland neighborhood. A man who now has a felony DWI, driving while under the influence of drugs, struck what he thought, I struck a crowd of people, he said in the probable cause affidavit, but he only struck a mother. They say witnesses told me on the scene that the mom shoved kids out of the way and then she got struck. She did crack 3 vertebrae, so she is definitely injured, but not life-threatening injuries. It sounds like something not fun to recover from. No. And then our bonus story of the week, this is the weekend. If you want to see the leaves, it's late this year, from all the information I've gathered. We've got it late, but like Northwest Arkansas, that's right here, they are peaking right now.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be a lot of reds and yellows. This is from yesterday afternoon, but with the cooler temperatures at night and then warmer during the day, that's what stuff is it's coming out. We've got a list of places to go and look. This is Inspiration Point in Joplin at McClellan Park over Shoal Creek. Some of the leaves have fallen off some of these trees, but it's still really pretty. It's really nice. So check it out on our website. That's our bonus story this week on the Big 3.
Perfect. And, looking for leaves and looking at all those fall colors is, a perfect activity for the season. And it doesn't cost you anything
That's
to just
right.
go out and look.
Yep.
You can walk out at Wildcat Glades and go through all those nature trails and just view the beautiful nature.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you so much, Shannon. We'll be right back. Well, it's the best part of my morning. It's getting to celebrate some birthdays and anniversaries. We're starting off in Carl Junction, Missouri with Parker Maloney, who's celebrating birthday number 3.
In Humboldt, Kansas, Kason Wood celebrated his 6th birthday today. Happy birthday.
And Avalon Tebow is celebrating birthday number 7. Happy birthday, Avalon.
In Miami, Oklahoma, Ava Scarlett Kidd turned 7 today. Note says, happy birthday, love Nana and Papa.
And Cash Kirkwood is celebrating birthday number 7 in Baxter Springs, Kansas. Happy birthday.
In Mound Valley, Kansas, Camden Grace Thompson turned 7 today. And the note says, love Mimi and Papa. Happy birthday.
And Jackson Zorns is celebrating birthday number 8 in Riverton. The note says, happy birthday from Mom, Dad, Brooklyn, and the rest of the family and ball team.
In Arcadia, Kansas, Carson Cozier turns 13 today. Happy birthday to you.
And Jarek Thomas is celebrating birthday number 14 in Girard. It says, wishing you a happy birthday, love Mom and Dad.
In Labette County, Missouri, Lucas Hayward turns 18 today. Happy birthday, Lucas.
And Darren Traber is celebrating birthday number 41 in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday, Darren.
Lindsay Faye Guffney turns 42 today. Happy birthday.
And Lacey Branston is celebrating birthday number 45 in Columbus. It says, happy birthday from Eric, aunts, and family.
In Carthage, Missouri, Kathy Saloga turns 61 today, and the note says, love you very much. Happy birthday, Chris, Amber, Trinity, Colt, and Ryan.
And Shirley Zollin is celebrating birthday number 71 in Oswego. Happy birthday, Shirley.
In Parsons, Kansas, Shirley Benteke turns 90 today. And the note says, love from Ben, Chris, Karen, David, Ethan, Aiden, and Landon.
And Danny Warford is celebrating a birthday in Arma, Kansas. Happy birthday, Danny.
In Joplin, Missouri, Sandy Krumsick turns happy birthday today. The note says, on the far right, with love, Kurt, Paige, Allie, and Sophie.
And Patsy Hale is celebrating a very big happy birthday today. It says, happy birthday, Gigi.
In Nesho, Missouri, Marcia Segwick has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you.
And Doug Thomas is celebrating in Ottawa, Kansas. Happy birthday, Doug. It says, happy birthday with love, Karen.
In Crestline, Kansas, Josh Schultz turns 20 today. Happy birthday. That's a look at our birthdays and anniversaries. Here is Sam with some news if you'd like to submit for a birthday or an anniversary.
Yes, of course we want to celebrate with you on your special day. Make sure to send those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@komnewsnow.com. You can see that email on your screen, but also make sure you pay attention to that deadline to make sure we get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate with you on your special day.
And it's going to be a beautiful day out there. If you are celebrating a birthday, it's looking really good. Downtown Pittsburgh, the sun is starting to rise. 7th and Range Line, those colors are starting to show up. Those clouds are starting to dissipate. They will pretty much disappear by the time we get to noon. Range Line I-44, a little bit hazy, not too bad right now, but still there is a bit of fog out there. It's actually worse than just a tad bit there in Miami, just 0.2 of a mile. Joplin, about 1.5 miles of visibility. So if you guys are driving along I-44 at all, make sure you are paying attention because the fog is definitely very dense out there. We're mentioning that there is some deer out there as well, so it can be very hard to see if there's anything in front of you because of that fog. All right, let's take a look at our regional temperatures and why we're having a little bit of a warmer trend. We are kind of getting a blend of some northwesterly winds with those southerly winds, but right now the northwest winds are dominating, but it's still on the warmer side. But those northwesterly winds are going to start building in this weekend, bringing in that cold Arctic air. But for now, our future track today at noon, northwesterly winds, clear skies. It's going to be pretty nice through the day and even into the afternoon by about 4 o'clock, still nice and sunny. However, by the time we reach the evening time, some clouds are going to start building in. It's still going to not be a bad evening, though. The clouds will continue through the overnight and into Saturday morning at 5 a.m. The winds are now shifting out of the southeast. Still not too bad of a start to our Saturday, even though the clouds are still going to linger around there. But now when we get to Saturday at noon, the winds are going to be now out of the northwest again. And you can see they're moving pretty quick. It's actually going to be a pretty windy Saturday because of that front that's going to slowly start making its way in. And by about Saturday afternoon, those winds completely shift out of the northwest, and that means that front is still starting to slowly push in. But for today, 8 a.m., starting off at 56 degrees, sunny skies pretty much the entire morning, getting up to 68 at 11 a.m., so a pretty good start to your morning. Our day looks pretty good as well, 69 degrees at noon, sunny skies through the afternoon, reaching 70 degrees between that 2 to 4 o'clock hour. Like I said, those northwest winds, 5 to 10 miles an hour, so a pretty nice day if you want to get out and do some walking this afternoon and evening. Our nighttime doesn't look too bad, though, gradually cooling down, 62 degrees at 6 p.m., getting down to 52 at 10 p.m., and an overnight low of 46 degrees, but mostly cloudy skies. All right, here's the big thing. This is the cold that's coming in, that Arctic air. We're going to see cold temperatures start to really creep in about Saturday and down into Sunday. You can see 21 degrees and 29 degrees for our lows on Monday. So you're definitely going to make sure you're going to have your jacket out. You're going to use that scraper on the car. It's going to be very brisk and cold as you're waking up and getting out the door. Taking a look at our 10-day here, 74 today. Tomorrow, Saturday, 68 degrees on the windier side because that front's pushing in. 41 degrees on Sunday, and then we're going to gradually start to warm up by the middle part of next week, possibly seeing 70s again. Let's look at your full forecast, but coming up when the KOAM morning news switches over to Fox 14, changing desperation to transformation, that's at the heart of a Joplin program.
This is your Wake Up recap for November 7th, your top stories to start your day. Jasper County authorities believe they found the body of 87-year-old Hugh Berry, who had been missing for more than 2 weeks. The body was discovered west of Carthage with help from search teams. Investigators do not suspect foul play, and while a positive ID is pending, they are confident it's Berry. Area students got a hands-on lesson in Southeast Kansas history at Cato Days. The historic town transformed into a living classroom, letting students experience pioneer life through activities like blacksmithing, covered wagon rides, and Native American history. The event also included a visit to the site of Crawford County's first school. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
It's going to be a beautiful day today, 8 a.m. starting off at 56 degrees, sunny skies through the morning, getting up to 68 by 11 a.m. The high today is going to be 70. That'll be about 2 to 4 p.m. Winds out of northwest about 5 to 10 miles an hour, dropping down to about 46 degrees overnight. Mostly cloudy skies, not too bad. However, the cold is coming, as you can see, a frost and freeze this weekend. 21 degrees on Sunday for your overnight low, and then 29. It's going to be pretty cold as you're waking up, but it is going to start warming up again later on next week.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Donald. Coming up today at noon, we're making the easiest lasagna ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Morning. The universal popularity of the K-pop Demon Hunters caught many people off guard. Ahead on CBS Mornings, why retailers are now scrambling to get merchandise to meet the high demand. Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, the fears are growing among Americans that artificial intelligence will reshape the job landscape, but not in a good way. Now Congress is jumping in and asking tough questions about whether AI is helping or hurting.
Plus, Shannon Becker joins us in the studio for his big 3 stories of the week.
But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow Monday morning at 5 a.m. and we'll see you today at noon.